Hello everyone, Teacher Gaming here. Welcome back to another video on Warhammer 40k Tacticus. Today I want to talk about the upcoming Guild War season and my 5 teams that I want to use for defense both currently at the moment but also in the long run. So if you're ready, let's take a closer look.
Impurity shall be our armor, hate shall be our weapon, immortality shall be our reward.
So everyone, I have the teams on the right side of my screen so you can see them, and the studio view will spot that there are only 4 teams. The fifth one we're going to be talking about. But we're also going to be talking about my 5 teams where they are now and how I want them to be, or should I say 4 teams. So let us start off with the top. As the very quick ones of you will spot, this is a mech team, and I am having my actual roster ready so you guys can see, so it's also easier for me to explain why I would swap around. So my mech team would be comprised of the 3 Necrons and then 2 of the Orcs. So basically there is Overwatch, there are some summons, there is some range, and overall there are 2 healers, which is actually the most important for me. Now Gibber isn't mech himself, so he can't be healed. Now if I were to swap out at the time being, I could take Makotep out and put in my boss, so I have more mech damage overall, but the team that I would be building in the long run would actually probably take out Makotep, and it would put in Rivas, because that way I have more Overwatch, and who knows, I might then swap out Immospec and swap in Makotep instead, but basically I would want Rivas in this team, so I have even better damage. Maybe Shosul would come in as well, but that is down the line. For the time being, I want to have my Rivas in there, so I have a pretty good mech team. Now, the way they're listed isn't about who I would place at the top of my actual defense. This is just how I set them up, listed them on the screen. The next one is my Chaos team, which is actually my strongest. And that would of course be at the time being the 3 Black Legion and the 2 Death Guards. But I want to change some things around. And what do I want to change? Well, I want to swap in some World Eaters. One of the World Eaters that I want to swap in and that I'm currently working on is Khan. I want Karn to be in here. And who would I want out? I would probably take out of this team to use elsewhere for my current depth. I might take out. It's a tough one. I might take out Harkin because I do like that there are summons in there for the time being. Now, what I would swap out in the long run would probably be actually both Angrax, Harkin, and Achimadas. So I would have Rask, Ascor, and Karn. That way I have Typhus with very good damage. I have Rotbone for the heal. Also, they have the aura around them the longer the battle goes. I have someone who can tank, I have shields, and I have damage, so pretty good killing. Now, of course, the only trouble on this squad is the deep strike, so I have to figure out how I can make that work the best, if it will be Macer instead of Rask, but the shield is pretty nice. But I think the shield probably needs to be pretty big, so for the time being, the 2 Death Guards are probably what's gonna be in there in the final form. Karn is gonna be swapped in first and alongside Ascor, and I might swap out Harkin and Angrax to begin with. Um, the more I think on it, that probably might be because Harkin can fly and move quite far. The same with Angrax, and Rodbone Typhus can't move that far, so I would want them to move as a unit, and that way I can also get the heal as core. More he's attacked adjacent units, they get higher damage, so overall that's a pretty good one. My next team is one that I'm working on, and let's just scroll down here because you can see I have 3 Dark Angels. Now we have the upcoming one, which is Baraquil, who has plasma damage. That's pretty nice. And also there's Death Wing, which every time he blocks damage, During an attack, all further incoming damage is reduced by 2, and his own damage is increased with plasma cannon by 2, so overall that goes well. Heavy weapon works really well with everyone else. Deep strike, not really that fond of that. So that team, Barraquel, I would like to have in there. Who would I take out? Maybe the healer. So they are just trying to be as tanky as possible. Although I would say I would like a healer in here, so if I had to take someone out and play a little bit more defensive, might be Asmodee I would take out in the long run. Otherwise, if I would just go with an annoying squad, I don't know. I would have to test it on defense, but could also be Thaddeus. I think a healer in here is pretty good to have, is almost crucial. So in CCS, I would like to have in there. Now, if you're wondering why wouldn't he take Isabella, I don't have Isabella. So basically, but this team would work on some pretty nice ones. Dark Angels, they are my favorite. And also there's the heavy weapon working, and Thaddeus can also hit the backline. It's pretty good. So, and this might be, yeah, where I would run one machine of war with. For my other machines of war, I might hit Biowar with the mech team. For the time being, it is with my best team. And then the Forge Fiend, I don't know where I would go with that yet. My fourth team, Bellator, Snog, Celestine, Eldrion, and Boss. Now this is a little bit of a mixed match, but this team is what I would like to have be a summon basically. So we have Bellator, we have Snog who can taunt, and they are quite resistant when they are leveled. And then we have Celestine with passive proccing, spawning, so you can kind of flood the field that way. Eldrion because Psyker and I like um, Eldrion in there. So basically, having the ability and the way she works, I would really like that. And then boss at the moment is just to fill up. Who else I would want in there? I don't know. Commander Yarrick, I would probably like if I had him. I would like to have him in there. And I don't know who else I would want to have in there. Maybe Shosil could also fit in there for the summons. So could be a thing to go for, and then just go a full summon team. Very annoying. And then we're coming to the fifth team. So my fifth team, for the time being, I don't really know who I would want to have in there. Obviously, I would like to build it with some of the characters I don't have, but I could consider taking Calandus in there because Calandus is pretty good for a lot of different situations. I am considering Tyranids. Could also be a Psycho Squad with Abraxas. Also because that way Archimantus, when he goes out, he would fit into that fifth team. At the moment, my fifth team is just made up of who else is the strongest that I would slot together. But maybe some Thousand Suns with Archimantus in there, and also with, where is he? Whoops, with Varro, because that's also psychic, so that could be a way to go. Could also be psychic with Psyker with Aldari. I don't really know where I want to go with my fifth team, but I'm imagining I would go Psyker just because that is also a team that's pretty good on offense. I can use it outside of Guild War, so obviously there are many legendaries that I would like to use, but I don't have them. If I did have them, I would of course probably make something with Onshi and Ragnar in there. So, and I like when I see them, they go really well with some Adeptus in there. So that could be a potential 15, but that is way down the line. So that's it for my teams that I want to work on. Remember, I am basically 4 months old with my account, so I'm building up my defensive roster. I'm also building up my offense capabilities. I am really happy to have Karn. I reached level 37. Just keep going, and yeah, healthy amount of Blackstone. I'm really working on getting my World Eaters and my Orcs up to gold. Want to broad out so I have 5 teams, defense for gold. Once those are done, I'm gonna swap up to my mechs because, well, I would like to level them also with the recent Karn event. I felt that Necrons could actually score a lot of points different places, so to get more points in the future for his reruns of the event, I would really like to have them up and running. I'm also considering working on Tyrannus just because they are pretty cool, and yeah, I have got quite a decent amount of Tyrant cards. So that's it for me, everyone. Drop a comment down below. What are your 5 defense teams? What do you want them to be? And I'll see you all next video.